Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to TradeVSA. Thank you for coming. And today, definitely, we are at the episode 3 of our Completing the Journey VSA Turtle Trader. Now, it's part and parcel of our educational program to take our fellow traders to the next level, and definitely following the tradition of the turtle trader, which we've seen back in the 1980s and also in the 2020s. If you do not know what I'm doing, go over to YouTube, subscribe to our website and follow episode 1 and 2. We are right now at episode 3, but if not, you can also catch it up here so much so too. Alright, so what we have for you this morning, let's take a look at it in here, and let me just sort of switch over to the chart. All right, so this morning is every Friday we do our TradeVSA. Definitely right now is we are at the third episode in here, and of course this is the disclaimer that I have. Just quickly take a look at it, and of course in our third episode, our TradeVSA Turtle Trader, we'll be talking about completing the journey. Now we're going to be talking about the candidates. Now all the candidates that we have selected is from our program. They have to go through some little bit of the basic training, because many of them, just like you, are from the public who have no knowledge involved. Let's take a look what we have in our candidate. That's right. Now in the last episode, in the episode 2, we were talking about the method. So what kind of method would they be trading? Now they are just trading what we usually teach in our course, which is the stages of the share, right? We know that the market stages in here, and also many of them will be using our a new market stages indicator, which will be releasing on the trading view, so they have a chance to test it out there. And all these tools is part and parcel of the educational program. They want them to train them and use the right tool enabled to help them. Of course, here you can see the location of the entry on when we are talking about an stage 2 share. ST2 is a stage 2 share where we buy at the pivot here and then sell at the high here. And of course, when we are in the profit taking mode, that's where we would likely see a ST4, a stage 4. We would sell hopefully at the high here and then buy back. That's what the method's going to do. It's fairly simple. Buy low and sell high. If you have any comments in there, let me know in there. And also remember, today we won't be taking any stock pick or whatever the case is. Now if you are holding some stocks on those shares, very simple. Those of you who have seen our SMARTRobie in here, follow the ATR stop loss. Follow the ATR stop loss. But I do hope that some of you who are watching here today would learn something from our turtle trading program, as many of our candidates continue to learn too. Okay, so for here is another example of a pullback trade, and they'll be executing a lot of the pullback trade. You can see the market continue to go uptrend here, and when they have hit a resistance, this is what we talk about, the resistance, the market likely to pull back. So this is where our fellow candidates, the turtle trader, are trained, right, and looking into the setup where they're able to buy back in here and able to exit. Now remember, the way that it is trade is not running through and try to make a lot of big gains in here. Why? Because is our KLCI market going down? Definitely not. And many of the stocks are continue to hit lower and lower, and now KLCI may be breaking low. So how is that we're going to trade? But I'll definitely share with you one method that the turtle trader will be using, and we think that so far the method is making good progress here despite what we are having so in there. All right, so let's look at the farm. All right, now the farm is where we all start. The first level of training them. All of them need to go through some of the basic training in here. Some of them have been in our program for more than a year or two. They joined our masterclass sometime before COVID. Some was during the COVID time, and one of the big benefits, as long as they continue to engage in their membership there, they get to come back for our masterclass, free unlimited receipts, which we do 2 to 3 months. And we felt that this is very important as part and parcel to train them. Now do take note, for the public, you are trading at the most difficult market in the world right now. And why is that? We are in the bear market. That's right. And one of the things that we really explore with our candidates, and also time to time again, I've been telling them, why aren't you looking at other markets, right? like the US market, which we've been telling many of the audience in here. But sometimes it's just that many of us continue to be very close-minded in here, which I will talk about in here, and not able to see new opportunity. Myself here as a sponsor, as also as a coach, is to enable many of the public in here able to see new opportunity, just like the farm that you see here, where they're growing new crops. Old crops, what do? You take them out and you throw it away. Same thing like for those stocks that never do well, and we have seen many of the candidates also got caught during the last year, where we have the sell-off in the rubber glove sectors, and right now also on server dynamics we also see those too, right? And I think going forward some of these stocks may need to get rid of them too. Unfortunately, that's the lives that we go on, but I will teach you some technique how to overcome them. I think the mental preparation, it's very important, and part of what we do here in our education program is to prepare our student to complete the journey and meet head on. So of course, let's talk about the candidate that we have so far from our program that has submitted an interview. As I said before, in our previous episode 1 and episode 2, we have received about 25 over submission in here, much bigger, and it's going to be very challenging. If you look back at the old the 1980s, the turtle trading program that was started by Richard Dennis and Ed Eckhart. So you will notice in there, just like the movie Trading Places, where we have Eddie Murphy and Dan McGraw. Check out the YouTube there. It's very funny. It's very engaging. It's very lighting, where you will learn about how they are able to undergo through the challenges to transform themselves, being those who really struggle in the market and sometimes don't know why also, why the stock fall, and into a prominent trader and really making good progress. And that's what is all this program is all about. It's about making that transformation. Now, for those of you who are interested in making that transformation from being a zero, I don't know why the market fall, right? Still holding the dead share, right? Don't know what to do, and you want to transform, this is right for you. But if you are one of those who still want to listen to tips and follow a certain guru, maybe our program, it's something that you can think and maybe follow it at the time when you are ready. Most important is that the ability for us to see new challenges, and that's always been my goal here, to motivate many of you, those of you who want to be a millionaire, want to be a great successful trader, want to be a great investor. This is the place. And through our own interview with them, we have started yesterday in here. We are still ongoing this interview until next Friday. That's right. So once we completed this 25 plus over candidates, and of course myself and my drill sergeant here, Coach Arif, and I'm the sponsor in here. So I told many of the candidates, if the program doesn't work or fail, the first person you should look for is definitely me. All right, because I'm responsible for all our turtle trader in here to ensure they get the right trim. Now, of course, we also have elimination process, where if the candidate do not put in the same amount of effort, out they go. Just like the apprentice, just like the original program, we will have elimination round too. So the best, you will see some of those. And of course, we want to congratulate many of our candidates who have submitted. And for those of you who have not submitted, maybe you lack of the confidence level, do join us in season 2, which we want to progress in here. So let's take a look at the candidate that we have so far. I have to say, I'm really amazed. The VSA Turtle Trader that we have so far are really well-educated group. You can see almost we have 70% of them have masters and the degree. The non-degree holder, which usually refer to educational level just up to Form 5, is a very small amount. So I have to say the turtle trader who comes to our level here are quite affluent group, and many of them have education. Then it remains, is education a success to becoming investor and trader? Just like many times when we were young, my mom and dad used to tell me, you want to do well in life, Martin, go get a degree. Why is that? Because when my dad was up, he didn't have a degree. He has only a Form 5 education, but he worked hard. He done construction in here, and he was a good income provider. He told us, Martin, here you have an opportunity. I will give you a degree education, and off I go. I went to Australia and I attended Monash, and in electrical and computer science, a double degree engineering over there. And that's how I've been. And I thought that I was also one of the lucky fellas with a degree. I thought I will make it in the corporate world, but life has turned another fate, and here I am today, a coach for your money managers, for your funds, for your investing, for your trading, and also training up the next batch of coaches and training, and also the next batches of VSA Turtle Trader. That's what the motivation that we have in our company TradeVSA is, to enable many of you to make that journey and make a change in your life. And I hope that what we bring to you, our first couple episodes, will inspire you to turn higher. All right. Also, we were looking at the age band of our turtle trader so far. So you can see from in here, I would say almost 80% of them are between the age of 36 to 55, which is they are their peak of their mental health and also earning capacity. As I said before, in many aspects, if you follow the financial goal, especially in the corporate world, if you are at the 42 and 45 years old, that is where your strongest earning capacity is. You must take opportunity of that, because after the 42 and 45, once you hit 48, your earning capacity will continue to drop and drop and drop. So this is a part where you need to pick. So that's why a lot of our parents and some of those research groups say that when you prepare you young, just like what Tiger Woods went through, right? He was prepared young, and he really peaked at the age of around 19, 20, and right now he's about in the mid 30s or early 40s. He's coming to drop down, and very similar, all of us in our mental peak, we need to enable them. Okay, we need to make sure they're earning at the best capacity. Like one of the wise men always told me, if you never work hard when you're young, you will work very, very hard when you're old. Am I right or not? Share with me, point it out in there. And this has always been what we have seen many of the people coming in there. They use the stock market as a way to get rich quick. But unfortunately, as I said before, if no preparation has been made in terms of mental, many of them will struggle, which we maybe try to really help some of these members and some of the public in here. But most important is that they are willing to change. And remember, when the student is ready, the master will appear. And that's the thing. So for many of these, the turtle trader in here participating in our masterclass, being in it, has really helped them, and it's our job in here continue to do so. And if you look at just now in terms of the profession that they have, we have a very wide variety in here, and we have a retiree about 8%. We have also management. We have people from the medical field. We have bankers. We have people from the sales, but majority of them are actually owner, are trader as a second income. And during this COVID-19, which also permit me to say something about the COVID-19, I will mention in here, a lot of them comes from as a business owner and also engineering degree, pretty much like myself too, how I came out when I attended a very similar program, but not the turtle trading program. At that time, my sifu was Bill Wermine in here, and then later I adopted the VSA, which is headed by the creator of the by volume spreadness, Tom Williams in here. With the engineering background, I felt that there's a need for me to really get connected and earn a second source of income, which some of them are currently trying to look at it, trader as a second source of income. But I want to present the facts to you that it will be very, very challenging going forward in here. So for as many the people will be doing, here are what are the lines of profession in here. So let's look at some of the key points that we want to talk about in here. The key lessons that I learned from the interview we have done a couple of interviews. We'll be doing still today and also on Monday, Tuesday, up to next Friday in here. So one of the first lessons that we found out from these candidates is that many of them want to change their course of their life, all right, with the one point of time in here. So right now is what really determined them to change their course of life. As I said before, many of them come to a point of self-actualization or after getting married or having children, but also many of them have very common theme will be preparing for their new challenges, their mini retirement or going to retirement. Now, if you are young listening to this, you will never thought about retirement when you're 25 years old, isn't it? You never thought about retirement when you're 35, right? 45 is not yet, right? But once you hit 50, you say, oh, yo, retirement coming already, oh. Or 52, 55, oh, retirement coming already, I don't have enough money, right? So what do? Oh, I want to get rich quick, right? I listen to Sifu, and then what happened? Put all your savings and put all your on one trade. which is what happens many of the candidates in here, and the story continues. So I have also made the same mistakes too. All right, we have the Asian financial crisis, and this time was COVID. So it's no different. I've been through 3 market crash, and yet I still survived, thriving, and still making money. And I do hope to share some of my good fortune, lesson learned with some of these candidates in here. And then number 2, one of the key lessons I also want to share with you: will their previous profession be an asset of liability? All right, now remember, in engineering and also in medical and versus a housewife, 3 different sets of skill set are needed to be successful as a trader, like we've seen before also in the Turtle Trading Program, and also in the previous 2000, the BBC Millionaire Trading Program in here. So right today, we are doing a very similar in here. Now, especially in the medical and engineering, they need to be right. Now, can you imagine someone in the medical field got it wrong in their diagnostic and got it wrong prescribing wrong medicine, or the engineering a person who prescribed wrong what we call measurements for housing and the bridge or the building collapse? They cannot be wrong, right? But unfortunately, in the field of the stock market, we are only right. Maybe good times we are right 80% of the time, but we still got 20% are wrong. But yet many of the so-called public or the so-called beginner, they want to come into this. They say that I want to be 90% or 100% right, else I would not do the trade. And that's unfortunately some high expectation of these people coming in. And that's why a lot of people are not really suitable for the stock market and trading, which I've been telling time and time again. You must accept challenges, and there is a lot of ambiguity. As I said before, the stock market doesn't come in black or white. Sometimes it comes in shades of gray. The question is, how are you able to handle the shades of gray, and how are you to overcome those challenges in here? Right. And point number 3, they also during this COVID-19, we've all been in a very long lockdown, isn't it? Almost 2 years, and yet we are still feeling that impact. And many of them felt the changing of economy, where many of us have to work from home. I think I've talked about this in here. So they need to upgrade their skills. Old traditional business model like the brick and mortar may not work. Many of them who have gone through the digitization, as we've seen in businesses, they survive. And right now, investing and trading is another way where you make money from money through digitization. Now, imagine where you are. You could be, assuming you can leave, you can go to Bali or you go to Phuket. You can still trade from there. Or you are in the East Coast, right? Enjoying the beach where there's no people, and it's safe, you can still trade it. So that's what we call digitization in here from the usual model. But what is likely to determine the likelihood of their success preparation for completing? And this is why we do these shows. So you can see some of you who are who intend to follow us or intend to become a trader or intend to become a good investor rather than just being average investor. Now remember, being an average investor, most of them perish. They don't make money, and that's the fact. So just bringing you some lesson learned from Curtis Fate, one of their trader, right, in the program in here, who wrote a few books, and he talks about using the brain, the different parts of the brain, which is really, in my opinion, I think many of you will know the psychology. It's very important. I always talk about FOMO, FOMO. Remember what's that? FOMO. Feeling of missing out, right? Feeling of missing out, that's where the greed comes in, or even when it comes to cut loss, that's the really big issue. So in the book Trading from the Guts, where Curtis Fate talk about how to use the right brain instinct and left brain smart to become a master trader. Now here we are not trying to become a master trader, but here we are just trying trading to really think in long term. Now this is a picture of Curtis Fate in his later career in here. Good trading is not about being right, which we did talk about the profession just now. The profession like the medical or the engineering, they have to be right, because if they are not right, they will suffer consequences. There will be damages. There will be a loss of lives, and that's But in trading, it's not about being right. It's about trading right. It's about trading right. Now, if you want to be successful, you need to think about long term and ignore the outcome of individual trades. Very important. Now, many of the challenges we've gone through the interview, they have suffered one or two trades outcome, and very common theme was the COVID-19 buying into too much of the rubber glove. Now, how many of you who are listening in here also fall into that category, buying the same stocks and not able to get out, right? And again, it is. So what he's trying to say is that if the outcome of these individual trades does not kill you, then you're able to proceed on, but overall have a long-term view, right? A long-term view is very important. So through our programs and our VSA Turtle Trader, we hope to impact and look at it from a longer view, not just one or two individual trades, which we are currently doing now. If you've been following me on our breakfast show, we talk about the Pentagon trading portfolio. We have win rate about 50 over. We are still up almost about 9% for this year, while the KLCI is down 6%. And I have to ask the question to the public as well, to our members, how your portfolio been doing and what are the lessons that you can learn from them. Always try to think long term. If you don't have a system, have a system. If you've been constantly following a certain sifu and not making money out of it, and then find out why. Because many of the candidates who do come in, they all started off just like me when I first started off too. I also listened to my remisers, I listened to the sifu. Guess what? I begin to find out that, hey, it's about time I have a system. It's about time I take charge of my own decision and be responsible, because I want to think about the long term. Now in here, now this is Daniel Kahneman, a Nobel Prize winner, and he talks about how our brain works. So this is something I want to talk about, is the brain function in here. We have the left brain and the right brain, also continuing from where Curtis Fate had talked about the trading in from the guts. So he talked about depending what kind of person you are, whether you are a logical person, you will see definitely I'm a very logical person, I'm a very number person, because I'm from the engineering side, right? But then there are people who tend to be a bit more on the feeling side. They feel a lot, and the feeling can be overwhelming. So this is where they can be very emotional, that we see on the left hand side can be very irrational, and because the FOMO, that seems to be the biggest driving factor in here, right? And that's really driving a lot of decision. I don't want to cut loss. As long as I don't cut loss, it's still unrealized loss, isn't it? Right? I still haven't lost yet. But guess what? Some of the stocks that you have, Server Dynamic, you can buy it at $2, you could buy it $1.50. Right now it's 80 cents. I'm not even surprised it can go to 0 too, because of the current pending question in here. But let not be that be a big issue to you. Let that be a lesson to you. But many people who do think, so one or two bad investment in the stock market, they say, stock market is not for me. And then they'll leave it. 4 or 5 years time, they will come back to it when the stock market is high, and yet what? They repeat the same mistake again. Many times again, we see people like that. I have 20 years experience in the stock market, but it's all 20 years experience 1 year times 20 times. So make 20 mistakes. You see the point? So this is what he talks about, the different types of people with the trading system. So what he really want to say is that to move people from system 1, all right, that book talks about it, Daniel Kahneman, system 1 to system 2. Pretty much what Curtis Fate was talking, right? You need to use emotion as an asset, not a liability. Like the profession that we talk about in here, some of this profession may be an issue. So when the Turtle Trader is coming in to complete their journey, we want to make sure they know about this. So thinking fast, thinking slow. So when it comes to trading, right, we need to do a lot of planning. Okay, so when the trade comes out to me later on, I'll share with you, you do the trade immediately. So that's where combining fast and slow. But many times a lot of people don't do the work, they never think slowly about the system, or they don't have a system. So when the trade comes and pressure by peer pressure, just remember, right, when last year the rubber glove goes higher and higher, oh yo, I should buy $5, didn't buy. I should buy $6, didn't buy. So end up fear, right? Fear, right? And then they jump in, they buy $10, and they say, hey, this one can go to, they listen to some analysts, right? Some analysts say $35, $75, right? Then suddenly they change. But guess what? Many of the public was also conned by many of those analysts out there. We were following it very closely. Remember, we were doing the breakfast show. Many analysts are saying very, very high prices, but yet many of them turned out to be casualty. right? So remember, this year, the KLSE environment where the VSA turtle will be trading is what we call storm trading. That's right, storm trading. I think some of you who already have some of those shares are going through storm, isn't it, right? The only one that is doing well in Malaysia right now is just perhaps maybe technology, a little bit of plantation. However, as I said before, those of them who've already moved to the US market, and during our interview yesterday, we found many of the students still trading in what we call storm trading, in a storm. So in a storm, what do? You seek shelter, is that you don't go out, right? Well, there is a trend trading. It's in the US market there. So this is where I think that I will probably do a few extra classes for our members in here to really learn how to get out from the storm, learn to let go and move to a trend trading environment where we see US. Malaysia is storm trading, okay? Banyak storm. Even today I haven't checked yet. Yesterday was down. This year, last night was down. I don't know about today in here. Now, how do I know about that? That's where we have our VSA 360. The 360 is sort of tell where our trader, what's really happening to our market, right? And if you have these two, just like you have an umbrella during a storm, you keep yourself protected. And many times again, a lot of the public in here, they don't want to use this kind of tool. They stick their head into the sand. They just don't want to know. But guess what? All right, eventually they will learn the hard way. And when they learn the hard way, they say, this is the time to change. I too make the same mistakes in here. So that's what we do in TradeVSA. Continue to make people ensure that they make that change. Now you look from the KLCI monthly return, you will notice, right, the grand total return for the last 6 years in the KLCI is minus 5.21%. So you can see from here, right, this one here, right, and right now we are in November itself, we are still minus 2.86. The KLCI total return this year was minus 6%. Let's hope, I still hope December it will break the record. All right, break the record means we will finally turn green for month of December. If not, we will break the record, will also turn red. What do you think? Just type in there, let me know what do you think, where is likely the market to go. And this is so if you enjoy what you've seen so far, some of my key lessons in here, type out, give me a thumbs up in here, so I'm ensure that the content that we are doing here will be enjoyable. At least you will learn something in there and continue to share also. So from a KLCI return, definitely what I will grant this as storm trading in here. Now, depending on the person that you are, let's say you've gone through whether a logical person or whether you are an emotional person. If you are emotional person, a very visual person, according to TDS, Ameritrade, right? If you're more of the right brain person, then you want to make snap decisions. So you apply technical analysis. You can do swing trading, or you can do short-term trading, and that's one of the reasons why we want to train our VSA trader to do both. I myself, of course, is a left brain driven. I'm a data driven. You can see that's what the VSA is, a lot of data. But for those who are right brain driven, you want to have a system that have short-term trading process that you can get in and get out. That's why the method that we talk about, the pullback trade and the intraday, which if you have followed episode 1 and 2, it's a ball about there. But if you are the long-term trading, and those of you who have came to our masterclass, I've talked about the long-term trading. You remember the two horses running together. This is the part that you have a medium-term and a longer-term horizon. You position trade, wider stop, exit point. So what we're trying to do here is trying to match the what we call the structure of each trader brain to what they think is. Both method can make money, but the truth is, if you combine both for the different types of environment that you see, you do best. I always been a left brain, but because of the opportunity that we see in cryptocurrency, and don't forget our Pentagon Guider also have cryptocurrency indicator in here. I want to take opportunity of the shorter terms, isn't it, right? Which is cryptocurrency and also futures too, which we are doing. So that's why we highly recommend some system that you should own. And whether you're left brain driven or the right brain driven, something will be very suitable for you in here. And not to forget some of the common challenges. Let me just sum up in here. Probably I'll take a couple of questions for those of you who have in there is some of the challenges. Now, it's very important. I know many of you want to ask me about stock A or stock B, but let's backtrack a bit. Go stand 2 steps behind. Go stand 2 steps behind and look at why you did that trade. all right? Because you will make that same mistake again when we have another bullish market coming out, right? We go stunned, we take 2 steps back. And this is the same thing we find many of our candidates or interviewer go through the same cycle too. So one of the most common challenges is because the COVID-19. Many of you have COVID-19, so they have time to rethink about their life. What do they really want? And I do hope some of you who are listening and also in the audience, what do you really want to have going forward? And in US, statistically alone, 4.5 million people quit their jobs to find new meaning, new connection in their life. They want to rethink a lot because this COVID-19 is one in the 100 years. And right now, even UK, they have new mutant, new strain in here. So the COVID-19 lockdown may be longer than you think, but at least many of us have taken our 2 shots of the vaccine in here. But we still need to rethink because life will not be the same. Now, one thing is very common about the challenges for the candidates. Majority of them don't want a 9-to-5 career, but a balance and lifestyle, right? They are unlike the one to get rich or follow the seafood crowd. What I'm saying that, right? They, despite what they do, they learn, that following and getting rich, it's not something that they want to do. And remember, many of them come from a very educational background, right? Now we are talking about degree holder, master holder. So they've gone through a system or process of really understanding steps and way to do things, right? So they made a mistake. That's certainly true. They have made a mistake during the COVID-19 with all the FOMO that we've seen in the rubber glove that have a runoff, right? They learned their mistake, but they want to move on, right? But they still don't want to be the one to get rich and follow the seafood crowd. But one very common issue is learning to let go of their old and bad traits, which we talk about. They still have some of the rubber glove stocks that they have, or some of the the travel stocks. They cannot let go of it, so they are still continuing to hold on to it. Now remember, going back to what Curtis Fate say, learning to think in long term, not just 1 or 2 individuals trade. But for some, because they have taken such a big position in some of those trades, it has caused their portfolio to did a big dent to it, and they are still learning to let go some of it. All right, but I will share some technique about how to let go in the coming tonight's talk. That's right, some of tonight's talks. So make sure you join me on tonight's. We have a Zoom session in here. If you look on the bottom right hand side, we have a 3-day live Zoom in here. Definitely today, tonight we'll be talking about US market. Now, point number 4, that they are willing to pay a price to learn to invest time to learn. Invest time to learn. Now that's very important. No, they find that, look, if I continue to be this, right, because of the time I want to switch from a 9-to-5 career to a balanced lifestyle in here, I need to pay a time. Now remember the times when we were sent to learn tertiary education, we spent 3 years. Some with masters, we spent another 6 years in here. So they're willing to invest time to learn. So the question to you, if you have not, have you found time? Now many of us always say before, I cannot find time to learn. Now time is all about time management. It's about putting priority to you. Now look at some of the time wasted that you have in life, right? What are those, right? Definitely for me, one of them is traffic jam. That's right. Sometime in the past, I spent 3 hours to and fro work. So during those 3 hours, right, can I cut short? What is the other way of doing it? This is just one example, right? Take the public transport and then listen to audio tapes, listen to YouTube, don't watch so much of Netflix, remember? Don't watch so much of Korean drama. So those are the time they're willing to pay a price to invest. Whereas many of the public in here continue to enjoy, continue to consume, they, in my opinion, will pay more when they come to an age when they hit their 55. Then they will say, goodness, I don't have enough money. Things are becoming very expensive, isn't it, right? We all know inflations are going up. So what can you do? All right, and you have to take care, when you're 55, you have to take care of your mother and father some more, the older generation, right? So you're overwhelmed with a lot of stress. I understand. I know since some of the people who really find that, taking care of their elderly parents, but instead for some of them, the elderly parents, 60, 70, taking care of them. So I think that we come to a point, especially the men, are breadwinner in the house. There are some responsibility that you need to take up too. The last one, you cannot see it. Let me just move this up a bit here. right? Okay, let me just get this up the way. Okay, you can see, right? And number 5, many of them, because they're willing to pay a price, they want some sort of connection. They want some sort of connection and meaning into their new challenges. Because when you go to a new environment, there's always something very, very new that you cannot see. So you want people who've been there before, show them. And that's what is our role is. Our coaches and myself in here now combine knowledge that we have in our market, the coaches and our trainer in here, more than 25 to 30 years experience in the stock market, in the context of the stock market, right? So this is what we want to do, is to give you some sort of guidance and coaching from others. So they're looking for connections. Now in many same way too, if you are out there always asking this Sifu or that Sifu, are you able to make a connection with him, right? Most connection I made with the public, right, is this one can hold. This one, should I sell? Right? I think that's definitely more than that. That's one of the things that we really want to do here, is to probe, why did you ask that question? Why this one can hold? Why this one cannot hold? Correct? No? Because this is the part that if you can go through and get through it, because I also did the same thing, can hold. And some people continue to come back, this one can hold. After 4 years or 5, this one can hold. Why? Because they did not make a meaning to their new challenges. And if you're going to be in the stock market, if you have chosen this profession in here, because why? You want to have a balance in lifestyle, to have another additional source of income, then you need to have connection. You need to have meaning in your new challenges. Now, definitely one of the good books that I recommend is Pivot. How to Pivot. In Janie Blake's is about pivoting what mattered the most, because I made a pivot too. When the circumstances has changed in my early 30s, when I was also in the corporate world, I don't want to have a 9 to 5 job. You know, like I said before, 3 hours in the traffic jam. I want a balance in lifestyle. I make that pivot when I was in mid 30s, and I have no regret. And many of you who are making that pivot now, especially in COVID-19, we see that a lot. So what are your meaning to you in here? All right. So I'm going to share something which I really enjoy on Apple TV called Ted Lasso. Now, those of you who have watched that movie, just type in that Ted Lasso. It's a very wonderful, life-changing TV series about challenges, personal development, leadership in here. And he talks about this one thing, okay? And I'll keep reminding me here. You know what is the happiest animal on earth? It's a goldfish. And do you know why? He said, because they only got 10-second memory. And in many ways, what we've seen in the challenges that faced by our candidates, they have a lot of challenges, right? They need connection, they need meaning, but they have a lot of burden, a lot of burden they carry behind from the old losses. And I want to give them to this, right? Be willing to accept criticism at work, especially when it comes to trading. So right now, if you are trading, you're investing, it's considered work for you. You have a bad trade, then this is where the coaches and we come in and we say, have you considered this? Are you willing to be open? Are you willing to do that? So instead, many people are very shut down. They only want to hear someone to tell me, this ABC stock is still good to hold. I will hold it forever, right? They will seek for what we call confirmation, all right, from people who is in the same area. Oh, you also got rubber glove. I also got rubber glove. They all stick together. They might be hold first, right? And this is the part where we all must learn to let go, all right? So letting go is be a goldfish. Now the goldfish only have 10-second memory, which means you forget about it, you start new again. And that is one of the power I find it in this movie, Ted Lasso. I mean, right now at season 2. So if you have not watched the Apple TV, you can subscribe to it. The second one, I find it very good, is the word belief. Right now, many of people are coming in here not able to think that it's possible to overcome all the challenges in the stock market. But you need to believe, just like Ted Lasso is leading a Premier League championship in the football in the UK, right, in England in here. So the team has been relegated to in season 2. They gone into championship, which has been second class. So they have to believe that they can win the championship and then get promoted back to the Premier League. So this is a part same thing in here. So what I'm trying to say, many of our trader, the VSA Turtle trader, is that they may have the belief, but they're not sure yet, but they're willing to give it a try. So my question to you is that, do you believe in yourself that you can make money in Malaysia? Yes, you can, but there are storm trading. Very important is the storm trading. Where is less storm? definitely the US market. So that's what we talk about, the trend trading in here. So for most people, we tell them, look, get out from the comfort zone. Why are you still in the Malaysian market when you know that it's storm trading in here? Because many of them say that, no, I'm very comfortable in Malaysia. It's a 9 to 5 thing, and I'll keep looking for shares, although I can't find it in here. But opportunity is available. So what Ted Lasso says inside that, now taking a challenge is a lot like riding a horse. If you are comfortable what you're doing, then you're probably doing it wrong. So same thing, no, if you are investing and you're doing what is comfortable, buying things that you understand, public bank, buying thing that's comfortable trading. But guess where? Is this what you're trying to do? Is this part of what we want to achieve, right? Now, if you notice, public bank, if you go back to our seasonality investing, you will know public bank hasn't been performing for the last 6 years. Give example. I'm not saying it is, but it should be something you want to think about, learn how to get out from the comfort zone in here, right? Because many times in life, we try to avoid challenges because we don't want to feel vulnerable, right? But feel exactly supposed to feel. So same thing, a lot of people get together, hey, you buy this stock here, you buy this stock, let's buy together. So they feel validated by group thing. But we all know in group thing, this is where smart money comes here, and smart money exploit it to a finish. They'll work with analysts, they'll work with media, they'll work with newspaper, will tell you many hundreds of reasons why you should buy this stock. But if you learn about the trade setup, what Tom Williams told me about the VSA, where stocks are distributed on good news, you see climatic volume, wide range bar, that's where you want to chabot. Correct, no? I think those of our members would definitely appreciate what I've said in here. All right. So what we are doing is getting out on the comfort from the comfort zone. So what we did was we started VSA Real Money Turtle Trading. We did a couple of trades already. So you can follow us on Investing Note with this portfolio in here. So far we are up 2% in here. We've done 3 trades. And then one trade came out on the TradeVSA and their TradeVSA 360 alert. This was on the 18th. Yeah, I think it was 17. This was on Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Sorry, today is Friday. On Wednesday, we did the trade on Wednesday. That's right. So you can say JCY and the HH group came out on 13 while I was doing the breakfast show while trading. I was looking for a couple of trades in here, and I want to show to our fellow members who's using the VSA 360 in here to look at the premium alert. Again, this is only reserved for the masterclass member, so we make it easier. So there were 2 trades, and eventually I put in the trade much earlier, right? I put in the trade much earlier, but you do notice the trade was only get done at 3:40. Okay, 3 done at 3:40, and I was out by 4:40. But 1 hour, another trade was out by one trade was out by 46 minutes. You notice, right? The HH group and also the JCY trade. So all those was matched, and I made one trade break even. One trade made 90 ringgit in here gross, but the earlier trade that we did, Kali made about 360. So out of those 3 trades, it's very easy to get done. We are already up 452 from a $20,000 profit only in about 1 week. And this is something we're trying to do, where making money during difficult times with the right tool, with the right training, overcoming all the challenges. And this is something that we want our VSA Turtle Trader to emulate and do this themselves, so they can believe. Remember, we talk about Ted Lasso, believing that they can do it in here. So again, this is one of the challenges. There will be other challenges. Perhaps we also shift them and get them to trade the US market too. So that's what we do. So one of the critical success factor in here is really getting them to trade smaller accounts. They will start trading paper trading for a week before they move on to their own size. Okay, and so one of the things that we get them to do is using the TradeVSA Trader Dashboard, which we just launched just 20 days ago. So this is a platform. They will be testing it out here, and hopefully they're able to move on to do great things, overcoming some of the challenges we talk about in here. So for our listening and also for our members in here, if you have any ideas how we can make the VSA Turtle Trading Show to be enjoyable, to be content where you will learn from the Turtle Trader in here, do let us know. There's a number there, 010-266-9761, and also email to me. I'm happy to take your comment how we can improve our program to be even an improved version in the 1980s and the year 2000. Now take note, in the 1980 version that they did, they actually took 4 years. There was a 4 years mentorship in here. Of course, those were eliminated earlier. They left the group. Then you have the BBC Millennium Trader. That was the year 2000 version, where they were grouped in for 2 months. Now this version that we are doing right now, it's a different kind of version. It's like a work from home concept where you don't need to quit. We don't want anyone to quit their jobs. We want you still engage in your day-to-day, have a balanced lifestyle. If you are in the home rental business, if you have a side business, if you have an e-commerce business, you can still do trading as a second income or trading as a multiple income. Guess what? The US market opened at 10:30 at night. Then you can trade at night too. Right? That's one of the beauty we talk about trading in here, not just looking at Malaysian market. Now, of course, tonight we will showcase our TradeVSA in here. Join us 9:30. So right at the below there is a Zoom link. Make sure you join me. We'll be looking at some opportunity to trade. And tonight will be a shorter week because of the Thanksgiving that we have in US. They will open about 10:30, and then the market will close about 10:30. That will be 9:30 their time. 2 o'clock will close. It's only half day trading in the US market. So don't forget. I'll see you tonight, guys, in there. And if you want to follow the VSA Turtle Trader, this is the link so you can see what kind of trades we put in there. Real money, real trading. Unlike the other people out there, they will say certain trades in here. We trade live in front of you in here. Of course, whatever started this is our VSA Turtle Trading. They started their journey with us, and we are taking new intakes. If you are really interested to join and see how our VSA Turtle Trading, and many of them had joined our program a year or 2 years ago, they continue to enjoy the membership, the mentorship in here, to re-attend, have revision, new syllabus, member support. That's where we are. We are one of the, one of the good things we heard from the candidates. We are the first of those few who really go out and teach people. I'm very surprised. I thought a lot of the sifu out there is to teach people. I think they do. Personally, they do, but they don't put the heart and the mind to it, just like Ted Lasso did. He goes into bringing the positive of each person to their best, and similarly what we try to do in TradeVSA to bring you the best. Maybe some of you may not be suitable for trading, but you're suitable for long-term investing. Have you considered that? All right. If this is suitable for you, we have a special installment here. It's for this price, $488. We start on December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. By 30th of November, you still have this special price. So another 4 days. So do register if you are registering in it. If you're already our existing members, do come back and re-attend this and re-sit and enjoy many of the benefits in here. All right, so that's all we have for today. And really, thank you for coming. If you have any question you want to ask me about certain stock, we definitely do it tonight. We can do it tonight at 9:30. We have more time on that one, but we also be looking at US market. We want to show you to begin this new journey of moving your portfolio from the KLSE to the US market. So I'll definitely take tonight's opportunity to give a bit more lessons, some of the real challenges that you see and similarity between the two markets that we see in the US. And we'll be also looking at the same methodology, what we do in TradeVSA, looking at sectors. With the right sectors, you usually be in the trending market, not the storm market that we see in Malaysia. So any question you have there, I'll be happy to answer that. All right, so with that, thank you for coming, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel just below here. That's right, YouTube channel for TradeVSA, and watch the episode 1 and episode 2. And of course, if you are a VSA Turtle Trader, we will start our interview today at 2 p.m. Do watch the episode 1 and 2 so you're pretty well aware of the development that we're going on and the training that you get. And of course, we want you and wish you the best. Good luck. Thank you for watching, and do share this video in your timeline. Bye-bye.